Hello, and welcome to This Week in Cinema, where I review all the random films that I just so happened to watch last week. If there are any films you'd like me to review in a future video, please let me know in the comments section down below. Our first film is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which, as a title, doesn't really make any sense, because this takes place a year after the events of the original film, so technically it should be I Still Know What You Did 2 summers ago. But yeah, anyway, this was a quick cash grab sequel that was written to capitalize on the first film's sudden and unexpected popularity, and man does it show. This film's plot is absolutely nonsensical, as the fisherman sets up this overly convoluted plan to kill our protagonist by shipping them off to the Bahamas first before attempting to kill them instead of, just killing them. The film is littered with cliche attempts at jump scares. The characters are either stupid or unlikable, and it takes forever to get to the kills that the audience came to see. And the fisherman might be the most inefficient slasher killer ever put to screen, except when he isn't whenever the plot demands. The film's only saving grace is Brandy Norwood's performance as the best friend, who actually manages to be a likable and intelligent character. But aside from that, this is a garbage film that deserves to rot in cash grab sequel hell for the rest of eternity. Our next film is Brawl in Cell Block 99, and it is absolutely fantastic. So far, I've been very impressed with S. Craig Zahler, who also wrote and directed Bone Tomahawk and Dragged Across Concrete, both of which are also great movies. He definitely has a proclivity for extreme gore in his films, and this film is obviously no exception. This film contains some of the most satisfyingly brutal kills ever committed to film. The film is definitely going for a grindhouse feel, and on that note, it's extremely successful. But the film isn't just all style and no substance. Vince Vaughn plays our protagonist Bradley Thomas as this massive, virtually unstoppable giant, and he plays him as this stoic, seemingly unemotional man who has an inclination for tranquil fury. But the film takes its time so that we can intimately know him as a character and understand him and understand why he chooses to go back to a life of crime prior to him being in prison. When you really get down to it, the film's plot is rather simplistic, but this film is proof that it's all in the execution. Vince Vaughn's career best performance, the brutal and realistic-ish fight scenes, along with the exaggerated and over-the-top gore kills, make this one engaging and entertaining film. Don't watch if you're even the least bit squeamish, but for everyone else, this is a fantastic experience, and one that never drags even for 1 second of its 132-minute runtime. Coming up next is Nancy Drew and the Hidden Staircase, and it was not a good film. I expected this to be a little corny or something like that. It is for kids after all. What I didn't expect was for this to be so dadgum boring. This film honestly feels like a first draft script that was never revised. The dialogue in this film is uninspired when it isn't cringeworthy. The film is directed like a made-for-TV or straight-to-DVD film, not an actual film that got released in theaters. Also, the attempts at modernizing the Nancy Drew character just don't work. It just comes across as awkward. And of course, the mystery, that thing that's supposed to be the main selling point of the film, is just so bland and boring that it's very easy to predict. There's no satisfaction in discovering the resolution whatsoever. There's just not much here to gravitate to anyone outside of the target audience, and honestly, even they will probably get restless due to the film's pacing. Pretty much the only thing worth paying attention to in this film is It's Sophia Lillis, who's actually a great pick for the Nancy Drew character, but she's given absolutely nothing to work with. If you want to see a big screen adaptation of Nancy Drew that's actually, good, then watch the 2007 Emma Roberts version. It is much, much better than this film. Next up is Ratcatcher, which you probably have never even heard of, but it's actually a really good film. Now, I've only recently become acquainted with Lynn Ramsey as a director, but so far I've been extremely impressed with her work. We Need to Talk About Kevin was really good, and You Were Never Really Here was incredible. So I thought I'd check out her feature film debut about a young boy harboring a dark secret, living in a dirt poor Scottish neighborhood. And I have to say, for a debut film, this is really strong. Generally speaking, Ramsey doesn't focus on telling a cohesive narrative, but rather she captures moments, and then these moments, when combined together, paint a complete picture. Wisely, Ramsey opts to film everything through an objective lens. She films the content, no matter how lurid or unpleasant, in such an intimate manner that it does an incredible job at feeling as realistic as possible. The result is a film that's both beautiful at times and difficult to sit through at times. There are problems, like I wasn't a fan of some of the editing decisions that came across as showy and distracting, and while the acting is fine, none of the performances stand out as being anything truly fantastic. But there's a raw energy to this film. It dedicates itself to its gritty and realistic tone, and its unique composition definitely helps this film stand out in a sea of similar stories. And our final film for the evening is Ace in the Hole, a genuinely fantastic, scathing commentary on the relationship between the news media and the mass market audience that consumes it. Talk about a film that, despite being almost 70 years old, not only didn't age, but it's actually gotten more relevant as time has gone on. This is a deeply cynical and subtly terrifying film that warns about the dangers of putting too much trust in the news media, about how they have an incentive to sensationalize in order to sell papers or receive awards, taken to its extreme but natural conclusion. Kirk Douglas is excellent, Billy Wilder's direction is powerful and effective, and the film is absolutely riveting from start to finish. I mean, I really don't have anything else to say about it. It's awesome, definitely check it out. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and share. If you have any films you'd like for me to cover, please let me know in the comment section down below. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.